Hi, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. I am Leuxann Alesna, and together with me presenting is Erick Asas, and we will be presenting our design prototype, namely Greeddon, fast food delivery application. In today's agenda, we will begin with the introduction, an intro to Greeddon and its inspirations, the body, the software, and the hardware inspiration and gimmicks, the application itself, a look into the app itself, and the conclusion, our final thoughts. This paper explores the concepts of vice interfaces within the context of gluttony and greed, focusing on case studies of Food Panda and GrabFood. Drawing inspiration from the work of Kabish and Williams, we examine how these food delivery platforms embody the intertwined vice of gluttony and greed in their design, functionality, and user experience.
The sin of gluttony is manifested through the accessibility and convenience provided by these platforms, which enable users to indulge in excessive and often unhealthy eating habits. Food Panda and GrabFood offer a wide range of tempting food options, tempting users to order more than necessary and overindulge in calorie-rich meals. Furthermore, the seamless ordering process and quick delivery times amplify the ease of succumbing to gluttonous tendencies, leading to potential health consequences. The sin of greed is reflected in the business model and practices employed by these platforms. Food Panda and GrabFood prioritize profit maximization by prompting impulsive purchasing and upselling techniques. They utilize persuasive techniques such as personalized recommendations, discount, and limited time offers to encourage users to spend more and increase their consumption. This profit-driven approach may contribute to financial strain and a disregard for long-term financial well-being. By analyzing the case studies of Food Panda and GrabFood through the lens of gluttony and greed, we aim to shed light on the ethical implication and societal consequences of vice interfaces. The findings of this study provide insight into the design and implementation of digital platforms, urging a more conscientious approach to avoid exacerbating harmful consumer behavior. Through a critical examination of these vices and their integration into technology, we can foster a healthier relationship between individuals, food consumption, and digital interfaces.
Thank you, Eric. And now we proceed on to the body. And in the body, we'll be talking about the analysis of existing system technologies and the design of proposed system technologies. In the analysis of existing system technologies, number one, describe the hardware platform. The group chose delivery software such as GrabFood and Food Panda, which both run on desktop, Android, and iOS. In Food Panda and GrabFood, users may purchase food online and can also use the app to save money, like a virtual bank, which they cannot withdraw after entering them. They can also have their orders delivered faster and at a cost. Number two, describe the software platform. In Foodpanda and GrabFood, users may purchase food online and have it delivered to their front door without lifting a finger, just like I explained a while ago. Number three, describe the system tasks that the system is supposed to enable. In the application, there is a clear system for how users order. First, they select a restaurant or fast food chain of their choice and select from a wide array of menu items, which are then saved in their cart. After selecting these items, they will proceed to a checkout screen where they will have to input their location address, mode of payment, and they can also check what items they have selected. What virtues does the design embody? According to Kabish and Williams' argument, both of these apps contain the sin of greed and gluttony. Additionally, it may be stated that it symbolizes sloth because users are conditioned to be lazier by having everything done for them in a blink of an eye. When I mentioned gluttony and greed, it was mostly because these apps encourage the mass purchase of items by luring the users with deals, sales, and coupons, all the while concealing the true purpose, which is to have the users think that it is far cheaper and better to use these apps instead of going to the physical store. It isn't inherently a bad thing because this hustle is a marketing approach that they utilize to gain more people, which means more money. Now, for the design of the proposed system and technology, the hardware the group chose to create is Greeddon. It is a mobile application that works both for Android and iOS. Uh, However, it's still currently in development as it only applicable to iOS. Greeddon is a fast food delivery app, which mimics Food Panda and GrabFood. In a sense, it focuses on blasting users with promotions, in which its purpose is to entice users to purchase the product. Now, one of the things users can do on Greeddon is find restaurants and fast food restaurants and purchase from them, like any other delivery app. They select a restaurant of a fast food chain of their choice. They select from a wide array of menu items, which are then saved to their cart. After selecting these items, they will be moved to the checkout screen, where they can check what items they have selected and place the order. Now, what virtues does Greeddon embody in its design? Similarly to Foodpanda and GrabFood, this app encourages the mass purchase of items by luring the users with deals, sales, and coupons, all the while concealing the true purpose, which is to have users think that it's far cheaper and better to use the app instead of going to a physical store, just like similarly to Foodpanda and GrabFood, which isn't inherently a bad thing, as stated before, because this hustle that we're trying to emulate is a marketing approach. And this is the vice which I would more like we would like Greeddon to embody. Now, for the application itself, I will be playing a video so that we could understand how Greeddon works. And by the end of it, I will be explaining each and every way it works. I'll now begin to play the video of how Greeddon works. Now, I'll be explaining each and everything that's going on in the screen so that you can understand how Greeddon works. So, in the first instance, you're prompted to sign in to Greeddon, which is Our motto is your one stop shop to all the wonders of the world. That's a delivery service. That is what we aim to do and what we're aiming to do, supposedly. So here you see the inputting of an email address. Of course, not an actual working email address. And now we get into the main screen, which, if we see here, we get flashed with lots of propaganda. Not too cluttered so that it would be off putting to the eyes of the user, but just enough so that it would be enough for them to glance to the sides to see or above to see. And bigger than the rest of the ads are the places where you can order. Just like here, McDonald's, KFC, and Jollibee. Now, in the prototype, it shows this screen, which is the menu taskbar screen, which shows the user self here on the hat icon, a quote that they can use. It even shows the favorites, which is favorite restaurants that you'd like to book. Shows you notifications for when your drivers arrive or when you get notified of a new deal that you can avail on. Search, which allows you to search for different restaurants and fast food chains that you may order from. Messages, so that if you do avail on promos, you can get notified if you actually got them, or if there's any new updates or anything going on within the app itself. You'll be notified with the messages tab and user settings. Now, if you're wondering from below, uh, the first one here is the home screen. The second one is hot, or what we would like to call the popular tab, the delivery status icon, and the cart icon. Now it shows, firstly, it'll show the whole border will be grayed out so that it only shows what you have chosen. So McDonald's, it'll show the address of the restaurant or store, shows the number of which to call it, what time it closes, and whether it is a dine-in or a drive-through. And in big bold letters, order now. It embodying design principles so that they would focus less on the plainer font. They would gravitate more towards the order now button, which is a design what's it called, a design principle that was embodied. So it focuses the line of sight of the user from the top to bottom, so it makes them look down into the order now button. Next, we have the screen itself for the restaurant. It shows the popular tab of what people usually order, shows the prices, and if it looks similar to Food Panda, you would be right. Uh, this delivery app really replicates a lot of, and not really replicates, but takes inspiration from Food Panda and Grab Food a lot. Uh, though not the exact same, it does embody some inspiration from the other apps. Now it shows here how you can choose different ones, and this is your cart screen. After you've booked your order, it'll show you what you've booked, how much it cost, the subtotal, and the total with the delivery fee. You can either prompt a delivery or a pickup options, and it'll show the place order button highlighted in green, which contrasts from the rest of the white, which makes users want to click it more, especially with a animated icon, which is actually a design principle which makes people think that it's going fast. It moves at a faster pace, so it would make users want to rush more into it. And finally, the order placed screen. Now that's all for the app itself, and we will be moving on to the conclusion with Erick.
In conclusion, the investigation of Food Panda and GrabFood as instance of the sins of gluttony and greed through the lens of Kabish and Williams. ESA, Vice Interfaces, reveals the ethical implications and societal consequences of such platforms. While providing convenience and accessibility, these meal delivery services also promote and encourage unhealthy eating habits and impulsive spending. The sin of gluttony is evident in the wide array of tempting food options offered by Foodpanda and GrabFood, leading users to indulge in excessive and often unhealthy consumption. The platform's seamless ordering process and quick delivery further facilitate gluttonous behaviors, potential resulting in adverse health consequences for individuals. On the other hand, the sin of greed is embodied in the profit-driven strategies employed by these platforms. Foodpanda and GrabFood utilize persuasive techniques and personalized recommendations to entice users into spending more, prioritizing short-term financial gain over the long-term well-being of their customers. This approach can contribute to financial strain and a culture of excessive consumption. Overall, understanding the implications of gluttony and greed within vice interfaces serves as a reminder that technology can be designed without the well-being of individuals and society in mind. By critically examining these vices and their integration into digital platforms, we can foster a healthier and more balanced relationship between users, their consumption habits, and the interfaces they interact with.